If you need some inspiration on how you can decorate your front porch for fall, then this one's for you. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Liz. For today's video, we are going to do a fall front porch makeover. I'm going to do some DIYs, show you how I made some of the decor that I will be putting up, and then show you everything that I put up on my front porch, how I all put it together, all that fun stuff. So if you need some inspiration for your fall front porch, then let's go ahead and jump into our first DIY. So first, I'm going to show you some DIYs that I made, and then you can see them all finished and put together at the end. So I'm just going to quickly run through these DIYs. So for this DIY, you are going to need a 1x8 and a 1x6. I bought both of those just in the 8-foot boards, and then you're also going to need a table leg. I picked all of these wood items up from Lowe's. I cut all my pieces down. I'll have all the measurements up on the screen right here. And for my two side pieces, I did cut those into a tag-like shape. So like I said, all the measurements on the screen will be right here, and then I'll also leave them down below if you're wanting to recreate this DIY. Now bear with me with the shaky movements of the camera. I had a little helper for this part. But this is just me assembling the piece. It's pretty self-explanatory. You are going to take your bottom piece and then take your two side pieces, glue those to the ends. And I just use this super glue, wood glue that you can get from the Dollar Tree. And then you'll take your two side pieces and just butt those up against the sides. And then you're going to want to put some nails or some screws in it. We just did some finish nails around the entire thing, and then also use some nails to attach the table leg as the handle at the top. This is what it's going to look like. So you're essentially just making an oversized toolbox is really all that it is. And I'm going to stain my toolbox using this gel stain from Dixie Belle. And I'm not going to make this perfect because I am going to be covering this up in just a minute, but I wanted the underneath part to look more gray instead of the natural wood so that when I distress it, the stain is peeking through. So you can just go ahead and stain your piece the way that you want it, or if you want that natural wood to peek through, you can skip this step. Now, before I add the paint, I am going to do a little bit of a different method using some Vaseline. I've seen this done a couple different times, and I think that it always turns out so nice. So what I'm going to do is take that Vaseline, and I'm just using my finger, and I'm going through and adding it all over my piece. Now, you're going to do this so that when you add your paint on top, you can go back through and wipe the paint off where the Vaseline is, and it's going to give you a really nice chippy and distressed look to it. So I'm just taking my finger, going along everywhere where I want it to be distressed. I did quite a bit of it because I wanted this to look pretty old and worn, and I really wanted a heavy chipping effect. Once that's done, I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in white, and I'm going to give it one good coat on the entire thing. Once the paint is dry, you can take some sandpaper and lightly go over it, and the paint will just start chipping off in big chunks. Or you could also take a rag and run over it with the rag. I also got a wet rag and then just started, going over the entire thing. I did have to add a little bit of pressure when I used the rag, but you can see that it comes off in nice big chunks, which I really like that look. There's a whole bunch of different methods to the crackle type look if you want to do this. So this is just one that I decided to try today. And then I'm going to go over the front of the toolbox with some surface wax from COUTURE because I am going to do a transfer on the front of this. And because this is wood and a porous surface, I find that the wax helps to prevent bleeding. So I'm going to grab this big transfer. This is the Harvest Festival transfer, and I'm just going to use the word harvest and then those little greenery pieces. I'm just going to center that on the front of my toolbox, and then I'm going to go in with my black chalk paste, and I'm going to do this this in sections. I am not very fast when it comes to doing this, so I personally like doing things in sections to make sure that the chalk paste isn't drying to the stencil. And I'm just going to do a little bit, and then I'll lift the transfer up, let it dry for a minute, and then I will lay the transfer back down, and then I'll just move on to the next section. And that's all you have to do for the harvest. Just get all your paste on there, peel it up, make sure that you wash it so that you can use it again in the future. And then I'm going to do those little greenery pieces that also come with this transfer, and I'm using the chalk paste in eucalyptus. I'm just going to put that on either side of the word harvest. And then that's all you got to do for this DIY. I plan on sealing mine with a matte clear coat so that if it rains or anything like that, it won't get ruined. And I can have this piece outside for many years to come. This is one of my favorite DIYs that I've ever done for my front porch. I just think it looks so adorable. Now, this portion of today's video is sponsored by Tailored Canvases. Tailored Canvases are high quality, personalized decor pieces that turn a house into a home. They are in the business of making homes feel homey, and they capture your memories and moments into beautiful personalized canvases that enhance the decor of any space in your home. You'll get an exquisite art piece that every attention paid to details, superior service. They go above and beyond, make their customers' wishes come true. They have so many themes to choose from. Bar and grill, farmhouse, faith and Bible, and lake are just a few of them. Just find the theme and design you like, add personalization with options like name, established date, location, and they even take special requests. You can choose your size and you're good to go. If you don't want a personalized piece, they have plenty of designs ready to go as well. I chose this Farm Sweet Farm canvas because I thought it would look so gorgeous in our front room. Our basement is being finished, and as soon as that's done, our office will become a gorgeous sitting room that I plan on hanging this up in there. They even have fall and Christmas themed canvases that you can personalize, and I'm definitely going to go back for some of those pumpkin patch personalized canvases. I think they are so cute. They even have Christmas tree farms that you can personalize. I just think that they are so much fun. You can use code MORE15 and get 15% off site-wide. All links will be located in my description box. So thank you again to Tailored Canvases for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Let's go ahead and jump into our next DIY. For this DIY, I'm going to create a wreath. Now, if you've seen any of my fall hauls, you know I love fall florals, and I really wanted to make a nice and big fall wreath for my front door. So I started out with an 18-inch wreath. I believe this is called a grapevine wreath. I don't know all the technical terms for all the types of wreaths out there, but I prefer these because I can just stick my picks down inside them, and I'm not trying to cover up like green foam or anything like that. I like this type the best, and I just picked it up from Michael's, I believe. And then I took these cream colored leaves and cut those up, stuck them all in the wreath first, and now I'm just taking some burlap ribbon. I'm twisting it as I go, and I'm wrapping this around the wreath, and I secure it in place using some wire that I've also used to secure in place with the leaves that I put on there. So I just left the wire attached to the leaves and then used that wire to poke through the ribbon, and then I just tied it like you would a twisty tie and just secured all the ribbon in place. And then I had these orange leaves that I probably should have put in there before I put the ribbon in, but I just cut that pick up, and I'm also just inserting that into the wreath, and I'm also making sure that my leaves all go the same direction. I just feel like that makes everything look a little bit more cohesive. And then I'm gonna take these pinkish sunflowers, and I believe that I got these at Michael's, and I just love these so much. I love the color, and I just think they're so beautiful. So I just cut those off of the picks, and I'm just taking that stem and shoving it through the wreath so that it pokes out through the bottom. I'm going to go through and place all of my flowers in like that, and then I'll flip it over and take my hot glue gun and put hot glue over the stem so that it gives it a little bit added security on the back, so it's glued to the wreath itself, and then you're not making a mess on the front with glue. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these flowers. I think these are called peonies. I don't know my flowers apparently, but I thought these were so gorgeous, and I just did the exact same thing. I just stuck those through the wreath and then added some glue on the back, and then I attached it to my door using more of that burlap ribbon, and we just hung it from the door like that. And then for this next DIY, this is a sign that I made last year using that full COUTURE transfer that you saw in the very first DIY, but I'm going to flip this over on its back and make this a double sign. So I am going to start by sanding everything down, and then there were some imperfections on the back that I wanted to add some wood filler in so that everything was nice and smooth. I'm going to paint this with my Waverly chalk paint in ink. And I just made sure to go carefully around the edges since the edges were already white from the other side. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't get any black on the tops and bottoms and the sides, so I just took my time with that. I waxed the entire thing. I'm going to use this COUTURE Trick or Treat transfer on there. I just centered it and then went over the entire thing with the bright white chalk paste. And like I said in the first one, I like to work on these big transfers in sections. So I just start at the bottom, add my chalk paste, lift it up. You can use a heat gun to dry it. Make sure that it's all the way dry. Lay your transfer back down, move on to the next section. And I just repeated this until the entire thing was done. And then I have a double-sided sign. I have one for fall, and then when it gets closer to Halloween, I can flip it over and have a fun trick-or-treat sign outside. Now for the fun part, which is decorating the front porch, I had a little helper today, so she helped me quite a bit with this. I took everything off my front porch and cleaned it up and just swept everything, all the dirt, all the leaves. It is really windy where we live for some reason, like all the time. The wind is just blowing, so there's always dirt and leaves and everything else all over our front porch. So I cleaned it off. I got this buffalo check rug at Hobby Lobby, and I want to say I paid like $7 for it. It was 50% off, and it was also in their Christmas rug section. So I just grabbed this, and then I grabbed the top rug from Michael's, and I want to say it was maybe around $12, and then I think it might have been on sale. Can't exactly remember, but I just layered those, and then I grabbed some of these hay bales. These were at Michael's, and I want to say maybe about $6.99. And I'm just gonna start adding everything to my front porch. I change things around like crazy. I'll put something somewhere and then change my mind and put it somewhere else. And I did that a whole lot when I was decorating this. This took me a good, probably an hour or two to get everything done, and I can never make up my mind. I'm so indecisive of how I want everything. But I also grabbed a bunch of pumpkins from a local store, and I grabbed some florals from Lowe's, and I loved all the oranges and reds and yellows. I just thought it was a lot of fun. So I also grabbed a bunch of corn stalks from Michael's, and I want to say I picked up 8, and I did 4 on each side, and I just kind of bundled them up and tied them to the pillars on my house. But you'll see me do that here in just a minute, but I'm just going to let you sit back and relax and watch my front porch come together. And this is how my front porch turned out. I think that it turned out so cute. I love it. I haven't had a really pretty front porch in a long time, and so I was really excited to have this all just done and put together. So let me know what you think about it in the comments. That's it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know, have you guys decorated your front porch for fall yet? I feel like this time I actually was able to decorate my front porch. We were in a rental before and a lot of my fall stuff was put away, so I wasn't able to do it last year when we moved. And I am just really excited to have my front porch all finished and decorated. I just love it so much. Fall is my favorite season to decorate my front porch for. So I was really excited to have it all done, and I just think it turned out super cute. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!